Hey guys, Mr. Dixon, the go-to guy for all things real estate in Southern California. I am your guy, the go-to guy for all things real estate, Southern California. DRE number 01251802. We're gonna talk about it today. Rich versus wealthy. We give everybody about 4 minutes to come in, log on, write in the comments what you want to learn. We're gonna talk about it today. Would you rather be rich or would you rather be wealthy? Would you rather be rich or would you rather be wealthy? Right? Let's talk about it. What is it? What does it really mean to be rich or to be wealthy? You know, a lot of people, you hear them say, I want to be rich, I want to be rich. We're going to talk about it, give you guys a little background music to soothe you savage beasts out there. Get your mind right. That come on in. Hopefully you'll learn something. You can pass it on. You can take it with you. Yeah, but we're going to talk about it. What is it? What is best? Which one would you rather be? Would you rather be rich? Would you rather be wealthy? Would you rather be rich or would you rather be wealthy? You know, we're going to talk about it. 2 minute countdown. Got my notes ready. We ready to go. Rich versus wealthy, right? Let's get to it. I'd rather be wealthy. You know, just thinking about it. You know, what's rich? What's wealthy? We're gonna get to it. All right, guys, I'm gonna kill the music. I'm gonna get to it. We're gonna talk about it. Rich versus wealthy. What is it? You know, what is it? What do you think it is? You know, there's a difference between rich and being wealthy in terms of money and financial resources. Being rich typically means a lot of possessions and material wealth, uh, cars, jewels, furs, uh, home here, home there. Uh, you know, being wealthy is more about having a sustainable and lasting wealth, meaning that you have assets. The things that you have invested in are going to, one, make more money and they're going to last. They're going to stand the test of time. You know, most people think about, uh, I'm, what was the Dave Chappelle? I'm rich, bitch. You guys remember that? The Dave Chappelle thing? I'm rich, bitch. You know, so, like I say, rich usually means you have a high income. You making money. You making lots of money. You have a high income. You have a high income. High income. Most people always put it in the terms of athletes and entertainers. Oh, they rich. Athletes, entertainers. You know, some businessmen, some media personalities, some social media people that you see on social media, rich. That's mostly where you'll see rich people at on social media. Wealthy people could be standing right next to you. You wouldn't even know their name. You wouldn't know who they are. You will see a rich person, let's say an athlete, entertainer, or someone you see on social media, coming out of a building, right? Coming out of a huge office complex, right? Now you see the same. I see another guy walking out of the building. You know, you don't pay him no attention. He has a bodyguard with him. You don't pay him no attention. He just looks like a regular person. He owns the building. He's wealthy. The athlete or entertainer or social media person that you know coming out of the business that went in the building to do business, he's just rich. Right? Okay. Rich people usually spend their money on depreciating assets, meaning that I want that new I want that new Bentley. I want that new Rolls Royce, that new Mercedes. You go buy it. You pay cash or just cash it all the way out. You buy it. You drive it off the lot. They'll depreciate an asset, meaning that the minute that you turn the key over and drove it off the lot, you may have lost 30, 40, 50,000, 100,000, depending on the car. If you turned around and went right back in it, if you got in the car, drove it down the street, turned around and went back to the dealership and say, "Hey, I don't want the car. Um, let me sell the car back to you. Let me get the money I spent for it." They'll tell you, "No, we can't do that. Your car is not worth what we sold it to you for now." You're like, "Man, I only had the car one day." It's like, yeah, when you drove it off, the value decreased. Now it's a used car. You see, so that's rich. Usually depreciating assets, jewelry. A lot of the athletes and entertainers have a fondness for jewelry. A lot of times that jewelry is sold to them at a hell of a markup. Hell of a markup. The jeweler made a lot of money. He may have sold them $1 million worth of jewelry, but it cost him maybe $300,000 for the stones and the gold and whatever else or whatever he used. He made a ton of money to the point where if they were to turn around and go back to the jeweler the next day, the next week, the next month and say, "Hey, I spent $1 million on this jewelry. Man, how much can you give me back for it?" Like, "Well, man, I can't give it. It's used. I got to try to resell it to somebody. I give you half." Just took $500,000 off. And depending on some people's financial situation, they may have to accept that, right? Okay. Next thing, rich cares about appearance. Rich usually cares about what they think rich looks like. They have a perception. People in their heart that want to be rich have a perception in their mind of what rich is. It's usually wrong perception. They have a perception in their mind that rich is designer clothes and outfits. So they care about their appearance. They need to be seen in designer at all times. And there's nothing, let me make this disclaimer also. There's nothing wrong with that. If you do whatever you do to make your money, you should enjoy your money however you feel you should enjoy it. And I'm just giving a breakdown on what happens because you're going to see as I go through these things that rich can fade, rich can go, rich can be gone at any time, but wealthy lasts forever, right? Rich money usually lasts one generation. All of the designer, all of the designer labels that people look my appearance, I need to be Gucci from head to toe. I need to be LV. I need to, you know, uh, all of the designer, that appearance. I need a facelift. I need a nose job. I need uh, any kind of body enhancements that I could get. It's all about appearance, right? And then rich is also it's like on some instant gratification. I need it right now. So I see something I want. I only have enough money to buy that, but I want it so bad that I take what I have and I go spend it on that to make me feel good instantly. Instant gratification. That's one thing that separates the rich from the wealthy. That's a trait that the rich want. Instant gratification. You know. And then on top of that, the last and most important, rich, rich still has to work for the money. Rich still has to work for the money. Right. So let's go through that and then we're gonna break down the comparison with wealthy. Number one, rich has a high income. That's number one. Number two, spends money on depreciating assets. Right. Um, Number three, cares about appearance. right? Number four wants instant gratification, right? And number five, they work for the money. Now let's look at wealthy, what it means to be wealthy. Wealth has a high net worth, not a high income, a high net worth. See, the difference in your income and your net worth is this. Let's say you have a job, you work in an industry where you make $200,000 a year, right? That's your income. That's how much you make. You have a high income. You make that will put you in maybe 1, 2, 5% or whatever it is, high income, right? 250,000 a year. But your lifestyle, your bills, your cost of living is $175,000 a year. So really and truthfully, your net worth is only 75,000. Now, wealthy, they have a high net worth, meaning that this person is worth that person that made the 250 a year, he only worth 75,000. This person right here has a apartment complex that's paid for, that's worth 3 million. Okay, he has a net worth of 3 million. He has all kind of assets, stocks, bonds, and things like this that have a valuation on it. That all it goes to the net worth, how much their net worth is. Okay, you take a person that makes 250 a year, spend 175 on bills, he worth 75,000. He doesn't have assets. If he has a problem, gets sick, somehow with the family, he needs some emergency money. He going hopefully that person has excellent credit where they can go borrow that way, or hopefully they have a home with some equity and they can go tap into it. But the wealthy person who has a high net worth already had assets in place. So they're prepared for a rainy day. They have the money. They just don't have it in cash. They have it in property. They have it in stocks. They have it in bonds. They have it in crypto. You know. So that's number one. Number two, they spend less on appreciating assets. They spend less on depreciating assets like cars and things like that. Now they buy cars, but they do it a different way. They purchase the cars in a corporate structure, write them off as a corporate expense, right? So they use what will be a depreciating asset as an appreciating asset, and then they also purchase appreciating assets. That's your real estate. That's your gold. That's your art. That's your stocks. That's your bonds. That's where they put their money at. They don't buy things and that if I buy it today and then tomorrow it's worth less, or 10 years from now it's worth half of what I paid for it. No, they spend $1 million on let's say a home or apartment complex or something like that, or some income property. They spend $1 million. 10 years from now, it's worth 2 million. See, they invest their money. Wealthy invests money in appreciating assets, right? That's number two. Number three, wealthy doesn't care about appearance. I've had the very fortunate pleasure of meeting a one billionaire and one multi millionaire. I met the great Eli Broad one time. Um, Wonderful gentleman, nice, very gracious, very nice, very gracious. If you didn't know who he was, you wouldn't know who he was. You don't have no big sign on his head to say Eli Broad or a jacket to say Kaufman and Broad. You know, he doesn't have a big advertisement on the back of his shirt that says um, uh, the museum that you like to go down to downtown, the Broad Museum. That's me. That's my wife. No, if you didn't know who he was, you walk right past him. You may not even speak to him. And don't get me wrong, got one of the biggest bodyguards that look like he's very effective in what he does. But I say that to say this: the rich, the wealthy, don't care about appearance. They don't care about designer labels. They don't care about Gucci belts, Hermes handbags. They don't care. Now, I know wealthy men, happy wife, happy life. So anything I'm sure that the wife wants, she can get the big jewelry and handbags and whatever. But majority of wealthy, extremely wealthy men, that are not young or not into that type of appearance. They are more men are working out now, getting healthy, caring about their body because all the money in the world doesn't mean anything. You're not going to live long enough to enjoy it. Steve Jobs, um, he said that if you watch some of the speeches that he gave before he passed away, he said it. When you laying in the bed and you can't be healed or there's no cure, then how much money you got not gonna matter. But so wealthy doesn't care about appearance. They don't care about appearance. They're not gonna come out the house looking crazy, but they're not gonna be in all the designer, and they may be in designer, but you don't know who the designer is. It ain't no names, labels all over the clothes or anything like that. It may look like it's just an average T-shirt, but T-shirt may be $700. You know, Zuckerberg does that a lot. He to take out the uh, having to waste time thinking on what to wear. Pretty much wears the same thing over and over. It's just a closet full of this type of jeans, a closet full of these pullover hoodies, a closet full of these type of T-shirts, and it is what it is. But wealthy don't focus on appearance as far as clothing and stuff like that, designer clothing. You know, Number four, wealth has a strong discipline, whereas rich is instant gratification. I want it right now, I need it right now, I have to have it. That's rich. Wealthy has discipline. They made a plan to acquire wealth and they're sticking to it. It may be a 10-year plan, a 5-year plan. So in year two, they start making lots of money, but they have a 5-year plan. It's year two of the 5-year plan. They're trying to see how much they can run it up to. They're not saying, "Oh, okay, oh man, we done made a bunch of money. Now let's go on huge shopping sprees and vacations and things like that, and start making frivolous investments and get off of this plan and start diversifying and doing all this." They don't do that. They have very strong discipline. They plan to work and work the plan. That's what the wealthy do. It's because getting wealth is over time. You can be rich overnight. You can bet the right stock, pick the right crypto coin, uh, one real estate deal, right person, right place, right time. You can be rich overnight. Wealth, long term wealth, generational wealth takes time. It's over time. So the wealthy have a strong discipline to where they can make the plan and stick to it. And then the last is rich people work for money. The money works for them. Wealthy people make money in their sleep. Rich people work for money. Wealthy people, money works for them. Their investments, the money is coming in. They don't have to do anything. They have a 500 unit apartment complex, condominium complex. Every month, that money comes in. They have auto dealerships. Every month that money comes in. They have businesses that generate large amounts of cash, office complexes, parking lots, stadiums, concert halls, venues. The money keeps coming in. The money keeps coming in. That's the difference. Rich work for money. You rich, but still got to work. The wealthy don't have to work because the money goes to work. And one thing about being wealthy, if you want to be wealthy, start looking at your money as a soldier. And let's say it's a war on poverty. Your money as a soldier. You want this soldier. This Let's say this money that you have right here. This is a $10,000 bill. Now he's a soldier. You want him to go out, capture other soldiers, bring them back to you, and send those soldiers out to work to capture more soldiers and bring them back to you so you can defeat the war on poverty. It's economic war that we're all in, whether you admit it or not. If anybody never told you, everyone on this planet is in an economic war. Everyone. The world is slowly becoming the have and the have-nots. And the greatest thing you can do for the poor is not be one of them. Because if you're poor, you can't help someone. You want to be in a position where you can help someone, make someone else's life better. Right? I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I hope you guys have enjoyed this today. And I really hope that you've seen it. You can go back through it. You can dissect it. If you have any questions, you can always email me, Gregory Dixon at Alpha Elite Capital, or you're going to see this video on Facebook or on Instagram. You can type in a question or a comment. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook. Let's become friends. Let's talk about building wealth and making our lives better for ourselves and our family going forward into the future. I am in Southern California, Los Angeles to be exact. I sell real estate. If you have any real estate questions or you need help buying anything or selling anything in Southern California, give me a call, 323-402-0700. That is the office number. You can give me a call anytime, 9 to 6 Pacific Standard Time. I'm on the West Coast, the best coast. And I'll see you guys next time on our next video.